What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome to the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren LeMunyan, the Spitfire Coach. I'm so excited to be back. I have been gone in maternity land, and we are coming back right on the dawn of our 7th anniversary. That's right. In 2017, we got started, and we are coming back with a brand new episode. As a reminder, if you're not already subscribed to the show, hit us up on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure that you share with a friend. We got some more stuff coming for you. We're really excited. So today's episode is more of a hot take capture. Last night I sat in on a self-care and mental health panel that was moderated by my friend Andromeda Peters, who has been a guest of the Spitfire Podcast many times. And I decided to just stick my phone out in front of me and record some of the hot takes. And I was a bit surprised when I heard back what came flying out of my mouth. But, I got to share what I put out there. So I hope you enjoy it. I decided not to include the other panelists. Just keep it short, sweet, to the point, like we always do on the Spitfire Podcast. But if you want to hear more of this, if you want to hear more specific content about self-care, mental health, be sure to check out Andromeda Peters. She's got a ton of amazing resources. She's doing therapy and life coaching. And feel free to check out her past episodes. I think she was on a couple episodes back. But enjoy this week's show.
I'm really excited. This is such a very impressive group of women, an impressive audience. I've got to connect with all of you already, well, a lot of you already, hopefully more after the event is over, and I'm just so excited to be here tonight. So I'll go ahead and get started with our first question. I'll start with you, Lauren. We'll work our way down. Awesome. What are the many hats that you wear in your life, and how does it impact your mental health?
Yeah, so when I saw this question, I first wanted to reframe it because the assumption that we can take a hat off I don't know about you, but I can't take being a mom off of my head. I can't take being a CEO off my head. So it's really about how many roles and responsibilities do we have at the moment and what takes precedent for us at that second. So a year ago was very different. I'm now a military spouse. I'm a new mom. I have a 4.5-month-old at home. My business has taken a back seat and I'm trying to work it all out. But I'm also now a daughter-in-law to aging parents. And so I'm now in this sandwich generation. So there has absolutely been an impact on my mental health. I am at the back of the list when it comes to everything that's pressing. And it's really been challenging because I've been the person that's been serving others for so much of my life. And I have taught other people how to put themselves first. And then I was smacked with the reality that I wasn't practicing what I was teaching. And I have had some very extreme swings. I don't know if we have any parents in the audience, but very strong hormonal swings between breastfeeding and pumping and everything else and screaming kid and what do I mean as into the world. And so it just got really real for me of I cannot hide behind the shame of not feeling like I have it together and I need to embrace this. And so I'm really excited to be here and share that you don't have to have it all together. In fact, the more that we can have these honest conversations, the more we all feel a little normal being abnormal.
I love that, because we are.
We're a bunch of weirdos, and it's cool.
Thank you. You're so right. I appreciate you sharing. And the transparency, right? I think we all have a story or two to share that kind of mirror exactly what you're saying. Can't take this off, but I need to be present and also for myself at the same time. And I can't always figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And same question for you, Lauren. What are the signs that you are approaching burnout? And what's the first thing that you do when that happens?
It's so funny, because I know all the signs of burnout, and we don't talk about the first stage, which is an overinflated ambition. So you start saying yes to more stuff, even though your plate is already full, and then you feel the tightening in your chest and the clenching in your neck and the tension here. So I do a lot of body scans and body awareness. And so I'm usually pretty aware of stress before it gets to burnout because my tone changes. I am my words can cut. I'm from Jersey. You just don't, you don't play. Jersey what? So yeah, when I start biting at my husband, who was born in Jersey but is not a Jersey boy, he's thin-skinned, Central Coast, California. He's honey, that was hurtful. But anyway, he's are you stressed? So we do a timeout, and he's hand over the baby, go for a walk. And usually it's basic needs that I need. It's water, rest. So I'll do a 20-minute meditation, yoga nidra, get on Insight Timer. If you don't already have it, it's free. I will close my eyes, I will take the dog for a walk, or I'll have a glass of water. And that's usually what will set me up for success, so I can actually look at what is it that I need to do. Like today was super overwhelming. I ran a webinar, had a coaching session, and then came here, and the rain and traffic is nuts. And I, by the way, corrupted the recording of the file of the webinar. No big deal. But you know what I do? I just have a good cry. Because it's really good for your parasympathetic nervous system. Just freaking cry. Find a safe space, go to a closet, get in your car, like whatever. The metro's a great place to cry too. Do it. It's great. Turn to the side, no one can see you. Put some sunglasses on, it's cool. We all can cry now in public. It's loud. Yeah. So let it out. I do. It's great.
So important. And I love that you brought up the basic needs. I think oftentimes when we're presented with a question like that, we need to think of like something extravagant. Well, here's what the day looks like. I book a trip to San Diego and just announce the workshop. It's like, no, like you can just like stay in your house or go up the street.
I can't leave my house.
So it's just those small things, right? And so one thing I suggest to a lot of people I work with is just like, what does a self-scan look like and sound like, and when should I do it? So I always recommend morning, whenever you have a lunch break or something, maybe hopefully lunch hour, and the evenings, asking yourself a series of questions. How am I feeling physically? How am I feeling emotionally? And is there anything that I need right now? Because oftentimes, like our body, the small way our bodies communicate with us doesn't always stand out to us. So it's like trying to schedule in those pauses so that we can kind of be more introspective and kind of notice what our body's communicating to us. And I would say for me, I don't really notice burnout until I'm like, done. What? And so I'm trying to get better at noticing the small signs, and because they don't always stand out to me. So I might be on Instagram for like 2 hours, and to me it's like, well, that's normal, right? But I'm doom scrolling because my nervous system is shot and I'm in freeze mode. So in that moment, I think I'm just like, you know, I'm just decompressing. I can convince myself that it is self-care, but I'm totally dissociated. I'm not present in my body, and I'm not feeling regulated. So I try to notice those doom scrolling moments or the binge watching TV moments. I'm not against it. I love a good K-drama. But those K-dramas are like 2 hours long per episode. So if it's like 3 episodes in, that's usually, you know, my sign to tune in. So what I try to do is kind of exactly what Lauren said, is sleep. Sleep for me is the biggest point of medicine. It does a lot more good for us than we realize, not just physically, but also emotionally. It gives your body what it needs. Our cells repair themselves when we're sleeping. Our nervous system gets to balance itself out again. So just making sure we take the time to do that. Not to forget our basic needs, hydration. When you do the self-scan, you might notice I haven't drank water all day or use the restroom. So trying to make sure that we're just like leaving space for the small things we sometimes kind of skip over to these extravagant like self-care things that are all really great, but we don't want to forget the small things as well. So, and my other question, which I'll start with you on this, Lauren.
All right.
If you could give advice to your younger self earlier in her career, what advice would you give to her about self-care?
If you don't care for yourself, no one else is going to care. No one is going to make time or space for you to take a break, and if you do not make it a priority, no one else is going to prioritize it for you. And it's just not that serious, guys. Like, there's a lot of serious shit in the world, but like being the best, doing the most, in the grand scheme of things, like what's going on your tombstone, what's going on in your obituary, like how many emails you sent, how many phone calls you made, like the hustle and grind culture. I know a lot of people subscribe to that. It's a capitalistic myth. It's there to keep you sick and hooked in, but like if you really step back and prioritize like what's most important to you, the people around you, the life experiences, like literally our lives are about to change very dramatically. And I don't mean to scare you guys, but like this is the time to step back and really assess what's important and start investing in that, because the chase is bullshit. The end.
That's so sorry. Period. And the same question for you.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love it if you could leave a review where you listen to your podcast. It helps us get the word out, and feel free to share it with a friend or anyone that you think would get some value out of it. If you have a topic that you want us to dive deeper into, feel free to reach out to Lauren at spitfirecoach.com. Let us know if you have a question or you just want to hear more about a subject. We'd love to hear it. It helps us dive deeper and really get our curiosity firing up. So check us out for your next episode, and we'll see y'all later. And keep being awesome.